Acting President Yemi Osinbajo at town hall meeting in Yenagoa.
There are many speculations about the death of the president, and people are much concerned about that.
Special prayers across Nigeria for President Muhammadu Buhari. Plus, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission uncovers 2 billion naira from ex-group managing director of the NNPC as 40 illegal refineries are uncovered in Asaba. A very good evening and thanks for joining us on the NTA Network News for tonight. I am Fumi Wakama. Acting President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has urged the people of the Niger Delta region to join the federal government in its peace drive to ensure development in the area. This was at a town hall meeting with residents of Bayelsa in Yenagoa. Samuel Winengi has that report.
The acting president said his visit is to promote a new era of peace and collaboration between the federal government and oil-producing communities.
We've come today on behalf of the President, Commander-in-Chief, with cabinet colleagues and heads of relevant agencies to propose a new vision and to signpost a new era to the people of the oil-producing communities of this state and Nigeria. The federal government will begin a partnership with the oil-producing states, the local government with oil companies, the private sector and civil society organizations for the rapid development of these communities.
The Bayelsa State Governor, Seraki Dixon, sued for collaboration between the state and federal governments to industrialize the state and create employment for the youths, which will in turn reduce restiveness in the area.
This state needs federal support, and any leader of Bayelsa, here or not here, please listen to me. As we are working together, the greatest legacy we can bring with, the legacy of peace and of stability in our communities and across the state.
Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ijaw leaders and youths all agreed that there is need for peace and unity, as well as carry out massive infrastructural development in the Niger Delta. The major issue discussed was ways to bring development to the Niger Delta region and seek other ways of generating revenue and create jobs for the people. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo used the opportunity to commission the Yenagoa heliport and visited the Bayelsa State Traditional Rulers Council, where he was given a High Chief title. In Yenagoa, Samuel Numanengi, NTA News.
Imams in about 350 Jumat mosques in Maiduguri, Jere, Biu and other parts of Borno State this Friday led thousands of worshippers to offer special prayers for the well-being of President Muhammadu Buhari following a request by the Governor Shetima. The prayers were offered in appreciation of President Buhari's commitment to the fight against the Boko Haram insurgency, which resulted in the liberation of many communities and relative peace now being enjoyed by residents across the state. Based on the request by the Governor, the Christian Association of Nigeria is expected to hold similar prayers on Sunday. Death wish for another human being is un-Islamic, and Muslim faithful have been warned against it to avoid the wrath of Almighty Allah. Imam Muhammad Nurul Khalid of the Apple Central Mosque stated this during a sermon at today's Jumat prayer in Abuja. Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji reports.
Every soul will taste death, and you will only be given your full compensation on the day of resurrection. This is according to the Holy Quran, Surah Ali Imran, chapter 3, verse 185, where the Muslim faithful is reminded on the need to always be conscious of his actions while alive. The Imam said speculations over the well-being of the president should not be the focus of worshippers, as he urged them to instead pray for his safe return to the country and seek prosperity for Nigeria.
There are many speculations about the death of the president, and people are much concerned about that. But what we want them to do is to be more concerned on their own death. So we are afraid maybe some people are eager to see the death of Mr. President so that they will turn back to the corruption that he is trying to fight.
The Imam added that Islam does not support rumor-mongering and advised worshippers to rededicate themselves in acts that can attract Allah's mercy. In Abuja, Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, NTA News.
The federal government says Boko Haram affiliate Muslim Brotherhood cell in Kogi State is planned to acquire bomb-making chemicals and other high-caliber weapons to perpetrate acts of terror, including attacks on banks, armed depots and prisons. In a statement in Abuja Friday, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said intelligence monitoring has shown that the cell is making frantic efforts to advance its IED-making capability through the acquisition of such chemicals as sodium azide for producing improvised detonators, potassium chlorate, alternative to ammonium nitrate used for producing IEDs, and aluminium powder, a fuel source of amplifying explosions. The minister said intelligence also revealed that the group is making serious efforts to acquire sophisticated arms, including shoulder-fired rocket launchers. Further intelligence monitoring also revealed that members of the Muslim Brotherhood are planning to forcefully free their members who are in detention in Kogi, Abuja and Kaduna, including one Biliaminu, an IED expert for the group, who is now at the Kuje prisons. Alhaji Muhammad appealed to Nigerians to be vigilant and to report any suspicious persons or movements to the appropriate authorities. Islamic scholars in Yobe State are in agreement that lack of proper understanding and teaching of Islamic laws, values and traditions are factors responsible for promoting violent extremism, particularly in the Northeast. This was one of the issues discussed at the training for 60 Islamic clerics, youth and women organized by the UNDP, the Japanese government and the Center for Democracy and Development in Damaturu. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Terrorist organizations in Africa such as the Boko Haram are posing an increasing threat to sub-regional peace and security, thereby raising concern for the international community. This was the reason why the center, in conjunction with the United Nations Development Program UNDP and the Japanese government, is holding a 2-day capacity building training for clerics, youths and women from 17 local government areas of Yobe State. It is aimed at equipping the participants with the knowledge of de-radicalization processes and counter-narrative of radical extremism, with the hope of stepping down the gained knowledge to the larger society so as to prevent youth from being misled through manipulation of religious texts.
We are trying to equip the clerics on how to counter the radical extremists in the Northeast.
Islamic scholars from Development Initiative for West Africa DIWA deliver lectures dwelling extensively on jihad, interfaith relationship, good governance, as well as women in Islam. The scholar said it is on the recognition of the significant role played by the participants as agents of mobilization, sensitization, and de-radicalization process in the society that the training is holding. So, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
And still on peaceful coexistence, the National Assembly has been urged to enact laws that will empower traditional institutions as agents of value reorientation. Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Eniton Ogunwusi, at a lecture to participants of Course 25 of the National Defense College, Abuja, expressed optimism that it will assist in conflict management and national security. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma has that report.
Grand entrance of Oba Adeyeye Eniton Ogunwusi, Ojaja II, the Oni of Ife, depicting the dynamic culture of the Yoruba race. Harnessing Nigeria's multi-ethnic culture and traditions, the monarch says, is the way forward to reaching out to the people to ensure security and development, especially for restive youths to realize their potential. His lecture to the course participants centered on socio-cultural development and national security, the role of traditional institutions in Nigeria.
Our diversity is our greatest strength, but yet it is that diversity that is dividing us further. Until we get to the root that is when we will know the solution to our problem.
Oba Ogunwusi appealed to the executive and legislature to collaborate with traditional institutions in youth empowerment through agriculture.
This is coming at a time when it seems the cherished moral and social values handed down by our forefathers are fast eroding in the society.
In Abuja, Isaac Nkuma, NTA News.
Adamawa State Governor is to close down official internally displaced persons camps across the state by the end of March. Governor Mohammed Umar Jibrila said this in Yola as the National Logistics Committee on IDPs presented assorted food items to victims of insurgency and other vulnerable groups in the state. Shegun Lawole reports.
In the wake of the Boko Haram insurgency, Makoyi IDP camp, one of the camps in Adamawa State, had about 9,000 IDPs. But today, the number has reduced to 2,800, predominantly women and children. Most of the youth and able-bodied men have returned to their ancestral homes, leaving behind IDPs from neighboring states, a situation Governor Jibrila described as indication of return of peace.
We try to cooperate with Borno so that they can come and take their IDPs back home. In fact, we have already earmarked by March ending. Yeah, we would like to see these IDPs is closed.
Although there are 3 official IDP camps left, the composite nature of the IDP in Adamawa, where others, apart from victims of insurgency, like fire, floods, communal and other clashes, had to share from the items distributed, the 15,000 bags of rice and other consumables are like a drop in the ocean.
We haven't been to a place like Madagali. If you go to Madagali, you will cry. People are suffering.
And as long as inflation continues, customs will also continue to seize the goods, and the goods will be given to the IDPs, even in their natural communities.
The committee earlier had an interaction with the Deputy Governor Martins Babale at the Government House. Shegun Lawole, NTA News.
The Niger State government has solicited cooperation of the National Assembly towards the completion of the Minna Airport and other major projects in the state. National Assembly correspondent Waziri Zoyano reports that the governor, Sam Bello, made the appeal when he visited the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, in Abuja.
The Niger State governor said the Minna Airport, which had been abandoned for 6 years, could be rehabilitated at the cost of 300 million naira. Other projects that need urgent intervention include dualization of the Suleja-Minna Road and the Baro Port, which could enhance economic activities of the state in particular and the country in general.
So, Your Excellency, sir, it is our prayer and our hope that you will support us to arrange for adequate funding for that project, and I think this is the right time. I believe the budget has not been passed.
Senate President Bukola Saraki acknowledged strategic location of Niger as a state and pledged continued legislative assistance with a view to ensuring that waste of time, human and material resources are mitigated.
I'm happy to see that an amount has been put in the Suleja-Minna dualization for 2017. But the point you've raised is that we must see it to the early completion.
If the issues that have to do with Minna Airport are addressed, then we'll have a second option, even away from the Kaduna alternative that has been provided.
As the 2017 budget defense by ministries, departments and agencies continue, Senate Committee on Customs, Excise and Tariff met with stakeholders on alleged abuse of export processing zones. The stakeholders acknowledged creation of the trade-free zones in Nigeria, but expressed great concern over the amendment of the accompanying 2004 Act, which they said allowed operators incentives that tend to pitch them against local manufacturers.
We are not punishing anybody for anything that has happened before. But we want also to try to build our manufacturing sector.
Also, the Senate Committee on Banking and Insurance organized a one-day public hearing to critically examine some priority bills. In a message he sent to the event, Senate President Bukola Saraki stressed the need for enacted laws meant for business concerns to remain focused.
One of the fallouts of the current economic challenges we face is the over-reliance of the economy on public sector funds and performance,
Chairman of the committee, Rafiu Adebayo, lamented predicaments faced by small-time lenders in present-day business environment and suggested overhaul in their favor.
In these modern states, commercial banks offer the widest range of lending services.
Meanwhile, the newly inaugurated vice chairman for the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, also appeared before the Senate Committee on Power to defend the 2017 sectoral budget. However, the committee gave additional time to NEC to represent the budget due to some anomalies. From the National Assembly, Wazir Zayan, NTA News.
Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Usani Nguru Usani, has explained the ministry's 2017 budget proposal of 35.5 billion naira to the House Committee on Niger Delta Affairs. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegoloye reports that the bulk of the budget is for urgent current projects, particularly roads.
The exact figure of 33.7 billion naira, the minister said, is also for housing, skills acquisition, electrification, water supply, dredging and jetties. Others are channelization, erosion control, youth empowerment, baseline survey of oil and gas communities and agriculture.
We see that there's need to maybe further increase, then we can take it before the leadership and the appropriation.
We are interfacing with development agencies to make sure that we avoid duplications, to make sure that we execute our policies based on needs.
Meanwhile, the House Committee on Works has emphasized the need for full releases to the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing to enable it effectively carry out infrastructural and road upgrades, which would positively impact all sectors of the economy.
You are unlikely to see a situation where we get money and we don't perform. The more money we get, the more capacity we can deploy. I would like to join you in asking the Federal Ministry of Finance to ensure that there are more releases. 100% will do.
Chairman, House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Abdul Razak Namdas, clarified to newsmen on a recent bill passed by the National Assembly.
If the National Unity and Peace Corps wants to be part of the bill that has already been passed both in the House and in the Senate and later harmonized, they are free to join that corps. The Nigerian Peace Corps bill that was harmonized by the Conference Committee of the NAS only gave statutory backing to the Nigerian Peace Corps.
He also disclosed that a national public hearing on the 2017 budget is expected to hold between the 13th and 15th of February to make the national budgetary process an all-inclusive activity for Nigerians. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
And the federal government is poised to replenish the Lake Chad basin as part of efforts to bring sustainable development to the northeast. Minister of Environment Amina Mohammed stated this while on a two-day working visit to Borno State in company of the Minister of State for Environment and Chairman of the National Assembly Committees on Environment. Mohammed Goni reports.
The visit was to assess environment and climatic change, have a first-hand information on various problems faced by the state, as well as to assist in the rebuilding process. While in Bama, the minister's entourage was conducted around by the Commissioner for Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, Professor Babagana Umara, to inspect progress of work in the reconstruction of the community, and proceeded to IDP camp, where they interacted with the IDPs and school children. The team were also at the Theatre Command of Operation Lapia Dole, where issues of deforestation, road, erosion, mines after the insurgency, funding for environment, as well as the need for teaching environmental issues in schools were discussed. On the Chad Basin, members of the team informed Theatre Commander that over 25,000 square meters have now been reduced to 2,500, adding that plans are underway to revive the basin by all neighboring countries and the United Nations, stressing that $10 million have been spent on the design by the federal government. They equally commended the Nigerian military in the fight against Boko Haram. Brigade Commander 21 Brigade Bama, Colonel Laka, informed the visitors that the 11,000 IDPs in the camp are being supported by the United Nations agencies, in addition to the upkeep by the state government and NEMA, adding that recreational facilities are also provided to the IDPs. Governor Kashim Shettima paid tribute to the civilian JTF and Bangas for complementing the efforts of the security operatives in the area and the minister's donation of food items and cash assistance from the state government. The entourage also inspected ongoing construction of Dangote's village at the outskirts of the metropolis to resettle IDPs who have no home to return to.
We have come up with the new map program, which is funded by the World Bank. It's really about looking at land management and watershed management. That itself is also, Borno has come on board, and they will be articulating what their priorities are in terms of land degradation around the state.
The minister's entourage paid courtesy call on Ishehu Borno, Alhaji Abubakar Ibn Umar Garba El Kanemi, and also presented 30 pieces of energy-saving gas stove, as well as commissioned the Borno plastic recycling plant. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Gwani, NTA News.
The plan by government to re-energize NIPOST and other establishments in the communication sector to function effectively towards job creation and revenue generation is being sustained. Minister of Communications Adebayo Shitu stated this at the Budget Defense session of the Senate Committee on Communications. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
Explaining plans by government towards revamping NIPOST and upgrade the Digital Bridge Institute into an ICT university, Minister Adebayo Shitu also responded to allegations on relocation of operational centers of some mobile telecommunication outfits to India and indiscriminate sack of some Nigerian employees of these establishments as presented by the Senate Committee.
We have since taken action. Some action relates to immigration, others relate to some of the companies involved.
The Senate Committee also took critical review of the 2016 budget performance and the 18.75 billion naira 2017 budget proposal of the ministry.
This slight increase in capital allocation will translate to optimum performance in the execution of the capital project in 2017.
Meanwhile, Minister of the FCT, Mohammed Bello, has put the 2016 budget performance of the FCT at 34%. The FCT Permanent Secretary, Babatokpe Ajeke, also explained the focus of the 37.29 billion naira 2017 national priority budget estimates of the FCT.
In this 2017 proposal is the completion of ongoing infrastructure projects in the Federal Capital City.
The committee expressed displeasure over the poor performance of the 2016 budget, but assured close working relationship to achieving infrastructural development of the FCT.
Abuja must be given very utmost priority and attention in terms of capital releases, except we want to mess up the city.
The committee also has plans to ensure that private establishments in the FCT live up to their social responsibilities. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
As ECOWAS Parliament reconvenes for its first extraordinary session for this year, authorities of the three arms of the regional bloc have lauded Nigeria and ECOWAS for the swift intervention in the Gambian impasse. This was at the opening of the session of the Parliament in Abuja. Joseph Ork reports.
The first extraordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament was basically reconvened to enable members consider and adopt the draft reports of the Committee on Legal and Judicial Affairs on the implementation of the supplementary acts relating to the enhancements of the powers of the Parliament. As customary with the opening session, the Speaker of the Parliament, Presidents of the Community Court of Justice, and that of the Commission welcomes the parliamentarians. Key in their speeches was the acknowledgement of the timely efforts of ECOWAS and the international leaders in averting the political crisis in the Gambia.
And in addition to our basic missions, the challenges that we are facing from this supplementary act.
In the area of peace and security, despite the fact that the region still faces multifaceted security challenges which continue to befall hard-working populations, particularly in Mali, Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Niger, and Nigeria, I am pleased to report that our community continues to make significant progress in the consolidation of democracy and strengthening of economic integration in several member states.
Speaker Sisulu enjoined parliamentarians and other arms of the ECOWAS to work in harmony for the actualization of the mandates of socio-economic integration of the region. The 5-day session will also consider and adopt the draft program of activities of the Parliament for the year 2017. In Abuja, Joseph Orok, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. And still to come on the news tonight, fatal trailer accident claims 23 lives along Zaria-Kano Expressway, plus over 2 billion naira recovered from the residence of a former group managing director of the NNPC. We'll be back shortly.
Best deal in town. Glow is giving away 4G LTE smartphones absolutely free. Get this super stylish 4G LTE smartphone free when you buy a 48,000 naira data bundle. This stunning 4G LTE smartphone free when you buy a 60,000 naira data bundle. Or this state-of-the-art 4G LTE smartphone free when you buy a 75,000 naira data bundle. The ideal phones for 4G, 3G and 2G. Plus, with Glow, you always enjoy 4G for the same price as 3G. Hurry to the nearest Glow World for the best deal in town. Welcome to the new speed of life.
Hello? Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Gioni M6, carry out everything on that list, starting now. Get to the door. Congratulations, you have passed the test.
Gioni M6 with a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge.
Gioni M6, always in power.
The National Assembly Committees on Appropriations invites the general public to a 3-day national budget hearing on the 2017 appropriations bill. The Joint Committee hereby invites stakeholders and the general public to submit memoranda and attend the hearing. The hearing is scheduled to hold Monday 13 to Wednesday 15 February 2017. Venue, Conference Room 022, ground floor, Senate New Building, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. daily. For more information, contact Mr. Godwin Agada or Basi E. Edem on 0803 626 7070 or 0811 021 5188 or the committee's email hconappropriations@gmail.com. Signed, Senator Njuma Goje, Chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriations. Honorable Mustafa Baladawaki, Chairman, House Committee on Appropriations. Supported by Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, PLAG, and the British Department for International Development, DFID.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth is in our people. People who will build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain. Fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
The Center for Islamic Studies, Usman Dan Fodio University, Sokoto, in conjunction with the Kwara State Committee on National Quranic Memorization, invites the general public to the formal closing of the 31st National Quranic Recitation Competition, holding in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. The event will hold on Saturday, 11th of February 2017, 15 Jumada Ula, 14:38 a.m. Venue, Metropolitan Square, Ilorin, Kwara State. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Chief guest of honor, the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Special guest of honor, the Senate President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki, CON. Chief host, the Executive Governor of Kwara State, Alhaji Dr. Abdul Fattah Ahmed. Royal Chief Guest of Honor, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, CFR. Royal host, the Emir of Ilorin, Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Zulu Gambari, CFR. Chairman of the occasion, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Chairman, Dangote Group. Local Organizing Committee. Announcer.
There's a situation, everybody's speculating. They say, what have we done to deserve this constant changing? Father, Father, hear us. Those we trust have failed us. They say, look to the Lord for salvation and He shall redeem you. Lord, I'm getting frustrated. Yes, I'm losing my patience. I've been waiting for so long. 'Cause this is who we are. It's our reality. It's our reality now. This is who we are. It's our reality. It's our reality.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
You're still watching the NTA Network News, and we're reaching you live from Abuja, the nation's capital. A fatal trailer accident at Tashinyari along Zaria-Kano Expressway has claimed 23 lives, leaving 57 persons with various degrees of injury. The injured are now receiving treatment at the Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital, Zaria. Ahmed Mohammed Usman reports. We'll bring you that report as soon as we have the package on it. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says it has recovered the sum of $9.8 million and 74,000 pounds sterling hidden in a safe-proof safe at a house in Kaduna, allegedly belonging to a former group managing director of the NNPC, Dr. Andrew Yakubu. A statement by the head of media and publicity of the EFCC, Wilson Ujared, said the surprise raid of the facility was sequel to an intelligence report which the commission received about the suspected proceeds of crime believed to be hidden in the slums of Sabon Tasha area of Kaduna State. The EFCC later confirmed that after a series of investigation, Dr. Andrew Yakubu admitted ownership of the recovered money, claiming it was a gift from unnamed persons. 40 illegal refineries have been uncovered by the Nigerian Navy ship Delta at Jones Creek, Warri Southwest local government area of Delta State. Eloho Agbra reports that the Delta Navy commander, Commodore Ibrahim Dewu, led the operation River Sweep It, where 3 suspects were also arrested.
The operation is aimed at eradicating maritime criminals in the Nigerian waterways and creeks. On citing the Navy officers, the operators of the illegal refineries ran away, abandoning their products and facilities. The activities of these illegal refiners have caused pollution both on the land and water. The commander who led the operation said the waste of the refineries is channeled into the river, thereby destroying the aquatic life.
The CNS has given us a mandate which we must keep. We are going to continue and we are going to sustain this operation so that we'll be able to stop these illegal activities within the creek. This will make the community live a normal life.
In a related development, the Nigerian Navy has flagged up Operation Sare Teku 4 at the new ports Warri Delta State. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ikwe-Abbas, represented by the head of training and operations, Rear Admiral Adeniyi Osinowo, reiterated the resolve of the Nigerian Navy to flush out criminals from the creek and safeguard the waterways.
For this reason, the Nigerian Navy continues to diligently pursue its mandate of securing the nation's vast maritime space in support of our national interest.
Suffice to say that statistics and at our disposal shows a drastic reduction in occurrences of piracy, sea robbery, and all other forms of crimes in our maritime environment as a result of the direct intervention of Operations Retioku.
River Sweep 2 will complement Sare Teku-4 to stem the tide of activities of sea pirates and illegal refineries. Elo Agbra, NTA News.
And still staying with the oil and gas sector, Strategic Roadmap 2017-2019 short and medium-term goals to enhance service delivery in the oil and gas free zones in Nigeria has been unveiled in One, River State. Karina Igonika reports that the event was organized by the Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority.
The meeting is to launch a rebranded strategic project to enhance excellent service delivery on the One oil and gas free zones. Minister for State, Industry, Trade and Investment, Hajia Aisha Abubakar, reiterated the federal government's commitment to reposition all sectors of the economy and create a more robust, level playing ground for investors in the oil and gas free zones in the country. The minister said that President Muhammadu Buhari's support for the oil and gas sector is evident in the 51.4 billion naira budget for the establishment of more economic zones in the country for 2017.
As we look for creative and innovative ways to stimulate growth, firm up the economy and create jobs, nothing can be more important than efforts such as this to encourage investment, both domestic and foreign.
We at OBSA aim to fully align with the ease of doing business reforms to ensure that the oil and gas free zones in Nigeria become prime investment destinations.
The role of the National Assembly, particularly the Senate Committee on Trade and Investment, is to put good legislations in place.
High point of the event was the unveiling of the Strategic Roadmap 2017 to 2019 short and medium-term goals by the minister and the rebranded website of One Oil and Gas Free Zone. In One, Karina Igonikon, NTA News.
And still from that zone, Charling's Marine and Offshore Safety Center has inaugurated a land-shaped christened MV Rivers in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. The move is part of the organization's effort to enhance its operations in the maritime industry. Ifoma Omesa reports.
Chakin is an indigenous private maritime training institution which was established in 2001 to deliver world-class maritime and safety training to Nigeria's energy sector. Inaugurating the landship MV Rivers Pride, Governor Nyesom Wike urged the company not to relent in the good work it has started in the interest of the people of River State.
And what I've seen, I'm very satisfied that we have people in this state who could think very far, who will want to utilize the time they have and invest in the state to give education to our people, to encourage our youth. Let me tell you this, the River State government will partner with this academy.
Chief Executive Officer of Chakin Maritime and Offshore Safety Center, Charles Wami, said the company is committed to deliver first-class service to every customer. He remarked that the organization has grown substantially and has over 53 oil and gas short courses, 20 international maritime organizations.
For Norway, Chakin Maritime is but one example of cooperation for common benefits. It's dedicated in building human resources, which is a key to development anywhere in the world at any time.
Simulators we bought for training, and we also commissioned our International Well Control Forum, IWCI, for our simulators.
Highlights of the event was a foundation stone laying of 200 cadets accommodation block. In Port Harcourt, Ifoma Umisa, NTA News.
And up next is business news.
Hello, and it's time to talk business, and nice to have you join us. The successful issuance of $1 billion 15-year bond at 7.875 coupon at the international bond market has been described by an economic analyst as a reflection of the international investors' confidence in Nigeria. According to a statement by the Debt Management Office, it's the first time Nigeria is issuing a $1 billion euro bond in a single tranche, which was oversubscribed by about 800%.
In terms of assessment of our credit rating, provided we are not very bullish with foreign currency borrowing, but Nigeria is still in a position to borrow from international market. Our credit standing, as long as we are ready to pay the fee, the right price, moves in terms of the interest costs, there are still investors who consider Nigeria a good credit risk.
President of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, Professor Segun Ajibola, has challenged commercial banks in the country to stop the illegal deductions from customers' accounts as charges for services provided. He told NTA Business News in an interview that his advice became necessary following complaints from some customers.
It is not something that is good. It is not something that is encouraging as far as the relationship between the bank and its customer is concerned.
Here are details of movement of stocks at the close of business on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange today. Market capitalization finished at 8.76 trillion naira, while the oil share index closed at 25,340.02 points. Ahead of other gainers was Surplus, which went up by 5 naira, followed by Better Glass, which appreciated by 1 naira 57 kobo. Nigerian Breweries was top on the losers list. It fell by 3 naira 73 kobo, followed by ETI, which dropped by 20 kobo. And that's business news. Thanks for watching.
Play Nasty with your brother.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Glad to have you back on NTA Network News. Moving on now, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonisaki, has commended the humanitarian gesture of Chief Eric Umelfia towards alleviating the plight of troops in the theater of operations across the country. This was during the receipt of a truckload of food items by Air Commodore Olayinka Tijani on behalf of the CDS for troops in the Northeast, and check presentation to late Lieutenant Colonel Abu Ali's next of kin by Erisco Foods.
It is our conviction that this corporate social responsibility will go a long way in complementing the military's welfare package for our troops in the theater of operation in the Northeast.
Chief Eric Umofia assured the CDS of his continuous support for the military in its efforts to rid the society of those who do not mean well for the growth and development of Nigeria.
To come again to identify again with our young people for the great work, marvelous work you have been doing, you have done, and continue to do for safety of all the country.
Chief of Defense Staff appealed to all well-meaning Nigerians to emulate the humanitarian gesture in the interest of the military and the nation. Turning to the judiciary, an ultra-modern door courthouse for speedy dispensation of justice has been inaugurated in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Governor Ibikunle Amosun urged the state judiciary to judiciously utilize the facility. Hakim Jimo reports.
Multi-door courthouse to the glory of God.
Addressing the gathering shortly after the commissioning, the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun, who was represented by his deputy, Mrs. Yetunde Ononunga, promised that government would continue to support the judiciary for speedy dispensation of justice.
Engender an atmosphere that will be less expensive, simplified and faster, but yet effective in ensuring that ultimate justice is delivered.
Earlier in her address, the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Olatokunbo Olopade, said the decision to build the Alternative Dispute Resolution Center became imperative due to the great number of people that troop to the state on a daily basis.
The response by our people to embrace alternative dispute resolution has been quite encouraging, and it has been a motivating factor and drive.
Justice Olopade promised that similar centers will be replicated in each of the senatorial districts of the state to bring justice nearer to the people. The Chief Judge, however, appreciated well-meaning Nigerians, fellow judges of the state judiciary, and the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators, Abuja, for their contributions to the successful completion of the
And NTA Network Network Zonal Center will resume live transmission of 4 and 9 o'clock news to keep people across the country abreast with information on happenings in Borno State and environs. Director General Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, made the assertion during his visit to NTA Maiduguri. Abubakar Muhammad Musa reports.
This is the first time the Director General Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, is visiting NTA Maiduguri since he assumed office. Addressing management and staff of NTA Maiduguri, the Director General paid glowing tribute to them for their resilience and for keeping viewers informed despite the series of challenges that bedeviled Borno in the face of uprising. He noted the immense contribution of NTA Maiduguri to the larger audience and therefore disclosed the need for the station to resume live transmission of all its network news in earnest. While reiterating his determination to address pressing issues of staff, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad said it is imperative to work within the available resources as NTA and the federal government does not have the financial wherewithal to solve all challenges. He commended Governor Kashim Shettima for approving the provision of UPS and fencing of NTA Maiduguri, among other things. On the issue of recruitment, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad explained that he is awaiting approval from the Budget and Planning Office and assured that emphasis will be given to all casual staff.
You in Maiduguri, have faced a situation that no one in NTA had faced in the past 4 years. You remained dogged, you stood firm, and remained at your duty post. I don't think there was ever a day that NTA Maiduguri failed to transmit on account of the activities of Boko Haram.
Welcoming the Director General, the Zonal Director, NTA Maiduguri Network Center, Lawan Umar Lalu, described Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad's visit as a new dawn that will usher in a new chapter of development and reiterated his readiness to take the station to the next level.
This is a very rare occasion for NTA Maiduguri. We are highly blessed and honored to have you in our midst.
Before departing, the Director General inspected studio facilities and transmitter.
In Maiduguri, Abubakar Mohammed Musa, NTA News.
Over 21 villages, towns and communities are to benefit from road construction projects spread across Bauchi State. Governor Muhammad Abdullahi Abubakar, during inspection to construction sites, solicited prayers for federal and state governments to enable leaders fulfill their mission to the electorate. Abbas Mekano reports.
The roads construction being handled by different construction companies, including indigenous ones, are located in several local government areas of the state, namely Darazau, Misau, Katagum, Jama'ari, Itasgadau, Bauchi, and Toro local government areas. The tour by the governor was to enable him to attain the progress made so far, as well as inspect the quality of work being done. The road projects, which are in various levels of completion, are to open up the affected communities, who are mostly farmers, for the socio-economic development of their areas. About 100 km Misau-Bulkachua Udubo to Gamawa Road has reached 50% completion, with earthwork reaching completion level. Other roads projects include 28 km Darazo to Kapchiari in Darazo local government, Azare, Misau, and Bauchi Township roads, which some of them have been completed. That 1 km Mararabang Ganye Gwalfada to Bachinkogi in Toro local government area, Hanafari, Jurara to Dogon Jeji in Jama'ara local government area, and Itasgadau Atafoa to Magaria in Itasgadau local government area. The governor also visited Zaki Bridge, constructed by the federal government over 30 years ago and threatened by erosion, to inspect the reinforcement project awarded by his administration. In almost all the places visited, the governor was satisfied with the speed and quality of the work.
By the time they are done, you will come and see a different thing here.
He charged all the contractors to ensure that all drainages and culverts are completed before the rainy season. In Bauchi, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
We'll take a short break now. More reports when we come back.
There's a situation, everybody's speculating. They say, what have we done to deserve this constant changing? Father, Father, hear us, cause we trust the failed us. They say, look to the Lord for salvation and He shall redeem you. Lord, I'm getting frustrated. Yes, I'm losing my patience. I've been waiting for so long. Cause this is who we are. It's our reality. It's our reality now. This is who we are. It's our reality. It's our reality.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
What makes a Niger mom powerful?
I encourage my kids to learn new things. And if they get hurt, I rely on the power of my Dettol's One Capful. To fight germs, it's like my own first aid kit.
My family needs protection from germs. I use the power of Dettol's One Capful to disinfect surfaces and clothes to keep them clean and safe from germs.
I trust the power of Dettol's One Capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's One Capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Millions of powerful Niger moms use the power of Dettol's One Capful to protect their families. Be a powerful Niger mom with Dettol. Be 100% sure.
The production, distribution, and sale of counterfeit and fake drugs is a corrupt practice and a crime against humanity. This has informed several measures and strategies to combat fake drugs, including introduction of anti-counterfeiting cutting-edge technologies to detect fake drugs on the spot. These technologies are being deployed to all the states across the Federation, as well as the internally displaced people's camps. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his team are committed to this fight.
The federal government of Nigeria, in line with its anti-corruption agenda and posture, will fight a total war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in order to ensure that Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We now join Kene Imabudike with Sports Update.
Over 150 female golfers from Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda and Zimbabwe, as well as 140 guests are vying for honors in the 19th Ladies Open Amateur Tournament, which teed off at the IBB International Golf and Country Club Abuja Thursday. The 18-hole competition, which ends on Sunday, is featuring handicaps 0 to 28 and 29 to 36.
It's an opportunity for us to come together in this city of unity to recreate, build relationship, and to network.
As Wiki Tourist Football Club of Bauchi sets to confront Royal Armed Forces Football Club of Sierra Leone in their first leg tie of the CAF Confederation Cup Sunday in Freetown, technical advisor of the club, Mohamed Babaganaro, says his players are fully equipped to put up a good contest. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed reports that the team is poised for better days ahead, even as it hopes to improve upon their present poor performance in the domestic league. Meanwhile, FC Ifeanyi will welcome El Masri of Egypt in Nnewi on Sunday in one of the scheduled fixtures. The English Premier League enters week 25 on Saturday, with Arsenal hosting Hull.
Alhaji Bako Muhammad Yarima, who passed away after a brief illness. Salisu Aminu reports on the life and times of the district head.
Late Alhaji Bako Muhammad Yarima was the 6th district head of Karkarna in Kazora Emirate of Jigawa State. Born in 1937, late Yarima ascended the throne in 1976 and is survived by 2 wives, 17 children and many grandchildren. During his reign, the area recorded remarkable development in various fields, namely peace, unity and harmonious coexistence among his subjects.
He has been a loyal person to the entire royal family. He has been a disciplined person.
He started as a teacher. Most of the educationists of this area, most of the elites, they were his subjects.
People from far and near are trooping to the palace of the Emir of Kazore, Alhaji Najib Hussein Adamu, to condole him and the people of Karkarna over the death of the late district head, Alhaji Bako Muhammad Yarima. Hundreds of people attended the 3rd-day prayers for the repose of the soul of the deceased, who has since been buried according to Islamic rite. From Dutse, Salis Aminu, NTA News.
And next is a quick check on the weather.
Take a quick look at our forecast. We expect dust days to prevail over Katsina, Gusau, Yeowa, and for the rest of the northern part of the country, down to the central states. We expect them to be caught under sunny and hazy conditions. As for the southern cities, we expect them to be in cloudy conditions with some sunshine intervals. And as we move into the day, we anticipate localized thundery showers over places around Lagos, Ijebu-Ode, Bini, and even some parts of Akure. And for temperature details, please do stand by.
And that's the NTA Network News for tonight. I am Fumi Wakama. From all of us here, have a lovely weekend.